What a piece of junk. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. This is The Plan. This is my weekly show that I talk about all the different things that are going on in the game, and the news, all the things, the news that people have spread around about different things, things that I find newsworthy, and give my unsolicited opinion on them. It's pretty interesting, guys, if I do say so myself. So we're gonna talk about the Grand Inquisitor's out, and we're gonna talk about that a lot. But before we really let that just totally dominate everything, a couple of notes here. So 5v5 is back, and that's wonderful. Super glad. I missed it. Even though my Jedi Knight Revan squad was modded poorly, it's still a lot of fun. So, will Datacrons lock? So this is from the Q&A, and I made a video about it. You guys can go watch that. So, the question to CG was, will we be able to see the locked or the live version of Datacrons? Which, I mean, the answer was almost certainly going to be live. Of course, I really want it to be locked. I want to be able to see what my opponent has when they locked. That would be amazing if we could just see that, but we can't, and that's something CG could absolutely do better. But they told us the locked version, and I was like, when I did my review on it, I scoffed, because it's very scoffable. It's like, we've never been able to see that, but that would be cool, but they won't, I don't think. I laughed at them. But, I mean, let's find out. Let's just wait and see, I guess. So now 5v5 is here, and my someone on my Discord server, which you can find my Discord server in the video description, but someone sent me the screenshot. I sent screenshots, the Datacrons, they checked again, they've changed, so the way you can see the locked version was total BS. So, they watched my video, they also scoffed, and I mean, I corroborated it too. Any one of you guys can figure it out. I mean, that's just how it is. So, yay for that. I want to say this though, guys. I love that you did a Q&A, CG. But if you're gonna do it, you gotta get the answers right. I don't have a degree in biochemistry, but I can do a Q&A on it. You guys can ask me all kinds of questions, and I will provide answers. And at the end of the day, none of them are probably going to be right, and there will be a huge waste of time, except some of you might actually believe me and draw the wrong conclusions. And like, if you're gonna do a Q&A, you gotta do it right. Like, you gotta... Oh, that really bugs me. Like, communicate. They are very bad at communicating. That's what we're gonna talk about today. That's like the theme. I just... If you're gonna do it, answer the questions accurately. We all knew this wasn't the right answer, but you gave us the wrong answer and gave us... I don't know. So what else is wrong in the Q&A? Like, what other things did they miss? Alright, 3v3 is back. In July. That's next. And we're going to flip-flop back and forth. Almost certainly. They didn't verify it, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be 3v3, then a month of 5v5, then 3v3, back and forth. And I think I'm okay with that, frankly. I know that some people hate 3v3, and I right now my attitude is pretty bad about it. So I can relate to those people. But the thing that... Why do they always say plus fleet? Like, why do they continue to perpetuate their carpal tunnel? Like, plus fleet. Why not just 3v3? It's been years since we didn't have fleet. Like, wouldn't it be cool if one time we just, like, no one noticed it on the calendar that it didn't say plus fleet, and it was just, like, suddenly 4 squad zones? I mean, that might really mess with people. Some people would just, like, have a blank zone. But I would love that. That would be super cool. Like, could you... My mind is just, like... exploding right now. It would be cool. So tactical, I think. Or maybe I would hate it, but I would love to try it again. So, just as a side note. Alright, if you like to spend money, folks, there's a new pack here, and I just wanted to... I know some people don't want to spend money, and that's fine. No pressure. No pressure at all from me. Don't spend money if you don't want to. I promise. I don't... Like, no judgment at all. But for the people who do, this pack is new and somewhat exciting, because... It's about 1,000 billion times. That's not mathematical, guys, but it's much better than the last ones for Gear 9 or Relic 9. It is like, if you just the laptops themselves, the Grida laptops at the top right, just those alone are like 1,400 something, sorry, 14,000 something, just to convert, fusion furnaces into those. Like, that's a whole vault worth, basically, just for those. And that doesn't include the droid brains or all the other pieces. This is much better. It also brings us a step closer, because they're going to start selling this pack a lot, probably, and people are going to be buying it more. We're marching closer to Relic 10. I don't think we're going to get Relic 10 for several months still, but that is something that we need to start looking at. Relic 10 is going to be here, and the way we know that is they're going to start loosening the requirements, start looking for other ways to earn those laptops and the droid brains. Other than Territory Wars, I almost guarantee that we're going to find something in the near future where they add the droid brains so that it's not as exclusive to Territory Wars as, they've said, or rather that they have had in the past. So anyways, now let's talk about Grand Inquisitor's out, and we'll talk about his event a little bit in a little bit. There's this thing though. So man, I hesitate so much to actually even just broach this. I don't even know. So okay, so Grand Inquisitor, his kit's released at real close to the actual event, which I wish that they would give us more. I really do wish they would tell us what his kit is way earlier than they did. But I mean, this is similar to what they've done in other kits, kit reveals. That's fine. Maybe it was like a copyright thing. Maybe it was like they had to wait for episode 6 of Kenobi to drop or something. I don't know. But so he's designed to challenge Jedi Galactic Legends on the teams with lifter unit or without lifter units in the Territory Wars game mode. So it can challenge Jedi Master Kenobi that doesn't have Cat, just in Territory Wars, which is, I don't know, possibly the dumbest idea ever. I mean, so it can kill Jedi Master Luke, which isn't on defense ever in Territory Wars, at least not in most guilds, but he'll be able to beat him, so one more reason not to put Jedi Master Luke on. And then you also have Jedi Master Kenobi teams, which the only reason you put a Kenobi team on defense without Cat is that you don't have Cat unlocked. Otherwise, you put Cat hit with him because you have to. That they become the best squad in the game. Otherwise, you just get your hindquarters punished, mercilessly by a few different squads, especially in Territory Wars, especially with all the Omicrons out. Not a good idea. So, of course, people have turned this into a very interesting narrative, though. The idea is the CG has been telling us that we've been lied to. Well, CG has been saying that, essentially people are saying they're mad because CG has promised that Jedi Master Kenobi and Cat will be counterable by the Inquisition. That's the promise that the CG's given us. So, I mean, and I've heard this a lot. It's been this new thing, and there's a couple content creators who've made videos about it. I'm not gonna link to them. I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. This is just a thing, and so I've heard this repeated a lot. They think, that this is a pretty vague comment. I didn't want to get any more specific. I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus here, guys, because they're trying to explain to me what's going on. And so, CG has promised that we'd be able to kill JMK Cat, apparently. That's what I keep hearing over and over again. This is the narrative, this is the idea. And so here are the things that people have linked to me. So, this is the road ahead, where they've officially announced the Grand Inquisitor. At the bottom it says, let's see, is the power to challenge Galactic Legend Jedi in Territory Wars. So, not surprising. All of the other Omicrons that the Inquisitors have been for Territory Wars. So not surprising at all. And challenging Jedi. I mean, what else are you going to challenge? If you're the Inquisition and you don't challenge Jedi, what would you say you do here? Worthless. So, and then a little bit later, on April 21st, they said, this is from the forums as well, Grand Inquisitor with the Omicrons will be able to challenge Galactic Legends. So we want to make sure that blah, 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 blah. So he'll be able to challenge Galactic Legends. So I don't know what, like, challenge? I don't know what that means exactly. But we've heard this a lot from people. And I guess the question I want to ask you guys, and genuinely, let me know in the comments, how many, before this comment from them came out, this thing that we can't beat Kenobi without Cat. Like we can't beat Kenobi Cat, I should say. How many people had the conversation of, I'm so excited, I'm farming Inquisition, CG promised we can kill Kenobi Cat with it? Like, how many people spent money thinking this is for sure what CG has said? This is almost certainly the case. Like, we're going to be able to kill Kenobi Cat with them. Like, we get a counter on based off of these two things. I just want to, because I haven't heard that. I have trouble believing that conversation ever existed, frankly. I don't, and I talk to people who spend money on this game. I talk to a lot of people who talk to people who spend money. I've asked everywhere, and this conversation never occurred that anyone can remember until this narrative was created, until this comment was created. And now people are like, I want a refund. I was going to buy the Inquisition and be able to beat Kenobi Cat. They promised. And I don't know, guys. First off, like, CG doesn't even know. Like, how are we trusting them anyways? Like, if you've been in the game for like more than 2 months, you know that CG doesn't communicate well. They don't, and they don't know their game very well. You remember they said that the TIE Echelon was not going to be able to beat the Executor. And then a little bit later, they're like, oh crap, people with TIE Echelon are beating the Executor. Oh no. And so they even posted this thing. They're like, we're monitoring it, guys. Like, yeah, whoops, you know. They don't know. How do we trust CG to know if you can beat JMK Cat in Territory Wars anyways? Like, and even if we could try, like, how are we gonna take what they said about these legendaries and treat it as like, there's nothing here that promises that as far as I know, this doesn't seem like CG's done a billion things wrong. They've been a terrible time, had a terrible time communicating about this event, hyping it. The marquees were horrifically, terribly slow to come through. Like, you put it on auto. Like my friend Ando's like, yeah, I put it on auto once, on a marquee, and 10 minutes later he came back and he was still hitting Zeb. Like, they didn't show the kits off well, and the characters are bad anyways. But, like, they did a bad job. They're requiring, in Conquest for everything. They're requiring them for Galactic Challenges. Galactic Challenges, it's like one of the missions. I have full Relic 5 squad at this point, and you enter the tier 10, and they just kill everyone. Dash is just like one-shots the whole team. And I'm like, I've already paid my dues to get Relic 5 on everyone. I don't want to have to frickin' remod my squad in Galactic Challenges for this. If I've already paid my, like, just give me the pass to go. Like, that. I don't know if I've ever been that angry about Galactic Challenges. I'm like, I don't want to have to remod my squad. I don't want to have to figure, like, this is a throwaway event and you're making me remod my Relic 5 units. Like, alright, I gotta stop. But frustrating. They have absolutely done things wrong. I don't think they've lied about this, though. I just don't think they know their kits. Like, I think people are going to start killing JMK Cat in Territory Wars if they put the Omicrons on. That's what I think. Not to mention, they released this thing right before they started doing the Inquisition stuff. They gave us the hierarchy of power. Like, what I'm not including is that they talk about the Omicrons add a half step, or add a step to it. So we get a journey guide character, conquest, whatever, you know, that's the level of Grand Inquisitor, and we add Omicrons for territory wars, and they can challenge Galactic Legends, but not Galactic Legends with Conquest counterparts. I think that's all their comment was it, like on their little chart here. That's not what it, like, I think that they've been pretty straightforward about what their intent is. Whether or not they're capable of fulfilling that intent is a totally different question, and you know, we could think about that. But all right, so the instant the kit was released, and I think the kit actually looks pretty good. The forums, this is all just wisdom from the forums. There's just quotes from people. I don't put names on here. I'm not trying to really shame anyone. I just the crazy, like, this is just the first page of the forums. You know, not seeing the magic. Inquisitors will remain a C or B grade team, in my opinion. Still a trash fire of a team. Way to go, devs. Please give us more content to use trash fire team. Thank you. I've waited for years for the Inquisitor team, and this is what you give us. A terrible team with no good use whatsoever. Awful. CG needs to be more specific on what it counters before releasing it, the lack of communication, and then some clause added without lifter tunes. It's just another example of CG bait and switch. Everyone that wailed all these Inquisitors was expecting a JMK counter, and obviously 90% JMK have cat. Top guilds 100% are using cat. So another example of this, guys. This is ridiculous. Who would even want a tune like this? GL Jedis without their lifter tunes don't even exist. JML never goes on D. I wouldn't put it past them not to know how their tunes function. I agree with that. But this guy was obsolete years ago. Years ago, guys, he was obsolete. Gas already does it. I mean, so he does counter JMK without cat, that's for sure. I don't know why all of a sudden the power creep stopped with JMK. Nothing will ever top him. I mean, it would be nice if they continued. If they could release something that could beat him. I don't know if Inquisition's the right one, but I mean, I do get that. No wonder you guys waited to the last minute, possible second to release the kit. He is straight trash. He is the entire concept of polishing a ball of crap, which, I mean, I use the word turd polishing, which, I mean, that's what he's doing. The crap being the entire Inquisitor faction. In the end, they are still crap. Way to go, CG. Way to go. This is all without seeing him in action, by the way, guys. This is just reading the kit. Okay, refund, useless character, useless faction. You do realize that 3 years old gas accomplishes the same, and not just in territory wars for 3 Omicrons. So, you know, now the event has happened, and now people are starting to test the Grand Inquisitor, and so Infinum here, my buddy, fellow content creator here, Inquisitors versus Gas. He was actually in my GAC pod, by the way, a little bit ago. We didn't end up facing each other, but yeah, so he's beating Gas with this, with like full health and protection and everything. Keep in mind that this is Relic 7 Gas, so we don't know. I've seen a bunch of other videos actually of them beating Gas, just not this dominantly. So, you know, it looks like that's going to be a consistent counter. Whether or not that's worthwhile, I don't know. But that's something to be looking at. And then on Discord, and I'm not going to show names here, guys, but this guy says, I beat JMK and Cat with Grand Inquisitor. Now, if you really zoom in, you'll see that General Kenobi here, Jedi Master Kenobi, is Relic 7. So there are issues there, of course. But, okay, I just did a test with someone else in a different server, and this is the same person who's posting it, and they got it to work, too, against JMK and Cat with the same Datacron. It's because now we can use Datacrons in Arena, by the way. It's totally doable. JMK and Cat have another counter, and it's GI, Grand Inquisitor, and Datacrons. So, with Datacrons, you can beat them, even without the Omicrons or anything. So this person's like, you got time to, like, they're confident enough, they streamed the battle. I didn't get to see it. But the fact that he's been out for less than 24 hours and people are already beating him with, and there's a bunch of bugs apparently, like, so yay for CG again. There's a ton of bugs with the Inquisitors that are making it so you can't even really test against a lot of these things. So, like, my buddy Fatal, who wants to test, just can't. Like, there's things that are happening right now that you can't test, and that's frustrating on a whole different level. But I think this holds a lot of promise, guys. That they're not worthless. Maybe you guys think differently. Let me know in the comments. I just... well, I guess I'll just say this. I don't know if the squad is a good investment unless you're super endgame, because it does cost like, what, like 2,400 total Cairo, not to mention like 1,000 carbs and a bunch. Like, they are gear prohibitive for a 6-person set. They are just gear prohibitive. They're crazy expensive in terms of gear. I mean, my buddy who's like free to play essentially is getting Grand Inquisitor unlocked, so it's very possible to do it, but he is also very endgame as well. So anyways, it seems like he's gonna be a little bit better than just crap, you know, like the wisdom is shown. So I do have Grand Inquisitor unlocked, and actually I really enjoyed the event. There's been a lot of frustration surrounding it, and I guess I get it. I felt frustrated by the General Skywalker event, by the Malak unlock event, even by the Bosk event. Well, I wasn't that frustrated, but a lot of people were, and I understood that. Well, the Bosk event, because you needed Bosk to unlock Chewie, so I get that. I like the event though, guys. I don't know. Like, you can sue me, I guess. And this isn't the good mod set for Grand Inquisitor, by the way. They just threw some on for Conquest to test him out. But, yeah, I liked it. I thought that the event was cool because it let you explore what the kits all do. Like, there's hidden depths in all of these kits. You have to know which characters can dispel and when. You have to know when they add purge. You have to know, like, it's not just a button mashing team. There's full of nuance, and I'm not saying it's gonna be the very best team. I don't know yet, and we're probably still gonna get Reva for the squad, so it's gonna add another level of interesting something, I'm guessing. But even if we don't get Reva, I like the event because it made me think, and it made me figure it out. And honestly, guys, so if you go to my unlock video, which is not a guide, by the way, just to be very clear, it was just me showing you my journey, kind of, so that you have another data point to be able to see how to do it. But if you go there, if you go to the pinned comment at the top, there's a link to the way I do. Like, I'm at 5 out of 6 on my attempts against the Ahsoka mission. Like, you need good mods, all that stuff, but you only relic 5, and I've beaten it every time because there's a method to it. And if you're just button mashing, it feels bad, but if you know the method, it's fairly easy. A few people have done it to great success, so highly recommend if you're stuck on the Fulcrum Ahsoka mission, you do that. So, alright, final part of the show, guys, and it's just speculation that this is nothing to do with the Grand Inquisitor. So they've announced the calendars. So we're gonna get Kyle Katarn and Omega for the login characters, which is great for some people. I wish my alt had waited, but one way or another, we're getting this free calendars, Kyle Katarn and Omega. I just wonder, so we're waiting for Profundity. I'm wondering if we're waiting on more ships to be released. They've already kind of spilled the beans through data mines that we're gonna get some more ships and some more marquees, and the thing that Kyle Katarn and Omega might have in common are that they have cargo ships, which people have speculated might be the fleet. Like, right now we have a bounty hunter fleet with Executor. Maybe the next rebel fleet is a bunch of cargo ships, which wouldn't surprise me too much, frankly, because they're all kind of scoundrelish, kind of affiliated with rebel things. And Kyle Katarn was a rebel. He flew the Moldy Crow, and I've been wanting that ship for a while anyways. And Omega, of course, would be with the Bad Batch, and, you know, you'd get that shuttle. And I don't know if that would be a cargo ship. You could give it that designation, I guess. Whether or not it really is, I think you could make that argument. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What does this mean to you? What do you guys think about everything? I'm turning it over to you. I will listen in the comments, and I hope no one feels thrown under the bus or anything. I want good things for our community. CG has done a lot of bad things. well, a lot of things, they've mishandled things. That's how things go. Of course, I'm not trying to excuse any of it. I do think that we should watch our narratives, though. We should watch the things because it matters. Like, it just does. The finding the truth and keeping perspective, it probably helps some. I don't know. I hope Grand Inquisitor does some good stuff. I think he will. I have a hopeful outlook. I will be very sad if he turns out to be total rubbish, like the wisdom I've shared, or others have shared here. So, let me know, guys. I was hoping to keep this video under 20 minutes, but apparently that's failed. So, thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Except for keeping this video at under 20 minutes. Dang it. Have a good one, guys.